Hey guys, MRA back again. Doing a lot of videos lately because of my foot injury. I have a lot of extra downtime that I didn't have before to do this, so I'll take advantage of it while I can. I've been asked a while ago to do a video on my Sideshow 12-inch Boba Fett figure. I did a quick unboxing a little while back, I guess before San Diego Comic-Con when I first got it in. And I thought I'd do a better review since I have it out of the box and kind of tweaked a little bit more. So if you recall, my main problem with the figure was the chest plate. It looks a little bit better here in the production art box, but it was actually a lot worse. I mean, it's pretty flat as you can see, but it was actually even a lot worse than that when it came out. It was really boxy looking. And so I went in and gave it a little bit more of a curve. I don't know if you can tell from the video here, but he does have more of a curvature to the chest plates now. Another thing that bugged me was this piece. It was touching the chest plates too much, so I kind of fixed that a little bit. So now there's actually, more of a separation there. And, with a little futzing, you can get it to really look really cool. Let's see, where to begin? Okay, when I first got the figure, I thought I can simply, squeeze the chest plate to get the curve I wanted. That's a bad idea. What you should do is try to warm up the area with either a blow dryer or dip it in some really hot water, maybe not boiling, but close to boiling. I recommend the blow dryer. I mean, you avoid getting things wet, and you don't, have to worry about drying it off and burning yourself. For example, this was my original chest plate. Like I said, I tried to bend it by hand without heating it up, and as you can see, I kind of warped it a little bit. There's a little bit of a score mark now. It's not ruined completely, but it does get in the way of people that have that critical eye. I guess I can paint it over someday. It's more or less the paint that cracked. If anyone's interested in this, hit me up. But yeah, just don't bend it without at least warming up the chest plate. So I ended up getting another chest plate off of eBay, and that's what I ended up using for this piece. But I took it off. Basically, you have to unscrew pieces off the back. These are the screws, by the way. Simply unscrew those, take off the back plate, and this is what it looks like when you take it off. Kind of doing this with one hand, so it's kind of hard. So there's this plastic clear piece in there which kind of adds to the stiffness. So what I did with mine was I cut away a little bit here in the center to help give it a little more slack, and I cut some of the edges off here just to get rid of some of the boxiness. On this piece it's not too bad, but on mine it was a little more square, so I pretty much cut it close to the edge like that. And then I also cut these little tips off. If you can see here, there's little tips here. I kind of cut that off. I think I might have cut off a little bit in this area and in this area. Basically like, a V cut there, a V cut there, there, and I might have cut a little bit off here, like a small V cut. And after that, I took a blow dryer, heated it up. Be careful, because this piece acts kind of like a shrinky dink, if you remember what those are, and it warps really easily. I tried it on this piece a little bit, and you can kind of see how it's wavy. That's due to the heating of the piece with a blow dryer. But if you heat everything, heat this area, most of all. Not too much, just enough that it's, pliable. Kind of bend it just, to the shape you want. And then try to hold it a little bit and cool it down. And, hopefully it should retain its shape. And you might want to play with this area a little bit too, because it might warp and it might hold a certain position you might not want. So, just be careful with that. And once you're all done, just screw that all back on. Oh, and to raise the armor piece here, what I did was I had to go in and I took a Dremel and I cut this piece down a little bit lower so that the hole was actually down, you know, towards the bottom here. Sorry, it's hard to illustrate, but it was down here a little bit more. Kind of like in that area. Just kind of cut away, you know, like right in here with a Dremel or something, so that when you screw it on, this chest or this back piece will be a little bit higher than what it was originally, because right now it kind of rests a little too low, so you want to kind of pop it back on at a higher level to you know, have it raised off of the chest area there. So ideally, you know, you kind of want it to look like that on the box art, and unfortunately it doesn't. So here is my Boba Fett. Again, you know, futzed with a little bit, you know, play with the pants. I don't even know if I put these weapons in the right area, to tell you the truth. I gotta crack open a book and do some research. But I, you know, poofed out the pants as much as I could, just kind of, you know, pulled it out a little bit. It kind of looked a little too skinny out of the box. Again, you know, fixed the chest plate, played with the cape to get it into a cool position. Oh, another thing is the head. I'm not sure how it's supposed to go, but on mine, I kind of wanted him to look a little taller, and I wanted to see the neckline a little more. So I think out of the box, he's more like this. It's kind of pushed down all the way on the ball joint. I just kind of pulled it up a tad, like that. So, you know, it's a little bit raised. So that's just another idea. That's just something I did for myself, and I think it looks cool. So here he is with IG-88. Also by Sideshow. And Sideshow doesn't really give you instructions. The bandolier goes on, and I had no idea that this piece was attached magnetically. So that just goes on like that, magnetically. And I thought this guy lit up, and I, you know, kind of played around with it. And let me see, let me put the camera down once again. Basically, you got to take this top portion off, and yeah, it doesn't include the batteries, unfortunately, but I guess once you get that on there, you can press this piece, and I suppose, you know, the head area will light up. So that's just some stuff I realized by messing around with the figure out of the box. And a quick look at them. Let me see. I think Boba Fett looks a lot cooler now. So, you know, it is a great figure. If you are, you know, particular, I guess people have been talking about, you know, the green is kind of off. It's not the right color. They are fussing about the Wookiee hairs. They're not great. If you want them a little more straight, people have just got them all moist and wet and kind of straightened it out. And once it dried, after being wet, you know, it was a little more straight. So that's another idea if you don't like them so messy, you know, like this. I might wet this actually so that it'll set a little more straight, because right now it's boink, you know, it's like really wild looking. So there you have it, guys. IG-88 Boba Fett. Gotta love the bounty hunters and the Sideshow 12-inch figures. Really awesome figures for the price. They're kind of going up there too, unfortunately, but still, compared to other 12-inch figures out there, you know, you really get a good deal for the money. Oh, real quick, let me do the light-up display bases. Let me see. This, I believe, was IG-88's. Oh no, this is probably Boba Fett's, duh. IG-88 is standing on his. And light, okay. This is the alternate stand for Boba Fett. And let's see. Oh darn, IG-88 is underneath. Okay, his is a brighter red. So let me turn off the light. Very cool. So you can kind of see how those look. IG-88, Boba Fett with their bases. Alright guys, this video is going pretty long, so hopefully, you know, I was able to give you guys some ideas and some tips on how you can improve your Sideshow Boba Fett. There's probably other videos out there to give you even more ideas, but that's my 2 cents. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks again for watching. Keep on collecting. Bye, guys.